Hey y'all, welcome to the Madness Collective Friday night craziness. Yeah, I'm Crescent. My co-host is Antoine. Thank God you're here. Our guest co-host tonight is Chavez. Chavez back in the house.
Yo, what's good?
So yeah, welcome to the Madness Collective. We recap the headlines as best we can. So tonight, Apple spent a lot of money to piss off a lot of artists. Fucking idiots. Drake shares a cryptic message. Is the beef over? Is he in his feelings again? Hush Money, Stormy raps. Cohen got next. Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to boot Mike Johnson. She got booed instead. Here's this, by both Dems and Republicans. Everybody's tired of her shit, is what she deserves. Biden is not playing with Bibi. Currently withholding sending additional weapons until this Rafah business is handled, or addressed at least. Okay. And then the airplane seat declining debate continues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hi, Antoine, you okay? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I got home late. I had some stuff. It was last minute. I made it though.
It's like I was looking at Chavez. I was like, I have not talked to him. I don't know.
Hey, yeah, exactly. To quote Wu-Tang, we made it. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that part. I got my. I had to go to the DMV today. It's a very humbling experience.
You didn't make an appointment?
Always.
I tried to, but I don't know. Online was just not kind of cooperating with me.
Okay.
It just would have saved me a little bit of time, not too much more time, because I was getting my. I had to renew, but also get my real ID, and I had to take a test. I was like, nigga, you can't be springing a test on people, like. And as much time as exactly, I don't know. Maybe the real ID part, maybe because my license already expired. I don't know. But
it is on schedule. I mean, when they send you the notice, they tell you if you got to take the test on the notice in the mail.
I didn't get a notice. That's what I'm saying.
To renew your license?
Correct. That's why I didn't realize that shit had ended. I was like, what the fuck? Nobody want to tell somebody something?
Oh, wow. Yeah, they sent me a notice. That's the only reason I knew it, because the last time I took mine, I had to, because around the age we had, I don't know what the schedule is, but I had to take the test the last time I renewed mine.
Oh, yeah. See, everybody talking about this age thing. Hey, what's up, Karen?
So basically, 50. So what y'all saying is once I get to about the age y'all are at, then I have to.
First of all, pause. Tony, you ain't about to be putting my business out there like that, okay? That's what you're not gonna do.
I'm just saying. I'm saying, like Antoine said, the age y'all at. So I'm like,
Chavez,
something along them lines.
Okay.
I'll fight everybody on here. So no, I didn't know I had to take a test, and my OCD fucking type A ass was sweating. They asking questions like 100 feet, 200 feet. I'm like, are you serious? I'm supposed to know that? Anyway, moving on.
Did you pass the test?
Right. But did
I
you
did.
pass it?
I did.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can't pass that test without studying it because, I have to study for that test first.
Yeah, I did not. Hi, Dion. I was sweating a little bit. I feel like I came a little close to not passing it, but girl pulled it out. So anyway, tonight, Apple. So Apple apologizes for the iPad Pro ad showing a hydraulic press destroying guitars and pianos. Like, it just was wild. I watched it. I was like, why is this happening? So viewers said it made it look like Apple was out of touch. And many posted that the destruction of creative tools offended them. The vice president of marketing said, our goal is to always celebrate the ways in which users express themselves and bring their ideas to life through an iPad. We missed the mark with this video, and we're sorry.
Yeah, I don't agree with this. It's a TV commercial. I thought the shit was hot. It showed all the creative tools. You can do all that in an iPad. Like, I don't know why people are angry about this.
I like it.
Well, here's rule number one, right? If your product or service does not, if it's not involving violence or destruction, you might want to steer clear of violence and destruction. I'm just giving, like, you might just want to steer away from violence and destruction if your product or service does not involve violence and destruction. To me, it's no big deal. I get where they were going with it, but we know what type of times we living in right now. You know, these people, some of these people nowadays wouldn't have made it on the slides that we used to slide on, baking in the heat, cooking as we slid down. So, you know.
Well, given look, AI and part of the strikes last year was this whole AI replacing actors and shit, right? And so now you have, you know, like AI replacing real instruments, real artists. So yeah, motherfuckers a little sensitive to that. Like, I mean, I saw it, I was like, that just seems aggressive. But and then when I saw people were like, yeah, we don't like this, I was like, I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah, commercials and films are make-believe. Y'all know when y'all watch The Godfather, they didn't really shoot them niggas in the movie. Y'all know that was a movie. Somebody wrote a script and it's make-believe. Y'all know it's not real. I can't even tell you that all of those instruments were actually destroyed in that commercial. I don't know if that was CGI or not, but yeah. Were y'all angry? Were y'all angry at the cover of Jay-Z's album? Do y'all know that album? Which one? That Jay-Z's album with the 3 stripes on the front?
I don't remember.
Is it? That's
is
that Magna Carta?
That's the one with niggas in Paris.
Yeah. I think
no,
so.
that's Watch the Throne.
No,
this Watch the Throne is Watch the Throne is niggas in Paris.
Right.
Jay-Z has
Blueprint. It's Blueprint, ain't it?
No, there's an album.
No. He's talking about the one
3 bars.
3 red stripes. Either vertical.
Yeah.
It's the Blueprint 3. That's what I'm saying.
The Blueprint 3?
Really?
And it's all white with instruments?
All white. Yes, and it has 3 bars.
Okay, do you know that is actually, those are real instruments. And they actually painted that white. And when you see the stripes, that's because of the angle that the camera took the photo at. That's not photoshopped. If you change the angle, the stripe disappears.
I'm looking at it right now.
So all I'm saying is that it was a piece of art. All of those instruments were destroyed to create that piece of art. That's all I'm saying. That all of this is make believe. I think people. People got to focus on other things.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Antoine. Thank you for sharing, Antoine. I'm boycotting Jay-Z's Blueprint 3.
We got Chever's got a synchronization problem. I don't know what's going on. Can you tell that, Crescent?
I didn't look at his mouth yet. Do I have one? I think I got one.
No, yours is never problematic. I'm just.
No,
it don't change. It don't change shit. I'm just saying it. It's happening again. I'm gonna get on it again and try and figure out what's causing it. But I just noticed it.
Is it kind of like moon cricket?
No.
No.
Sadly. So, well, again, I understand the sensitivity to this AI replacing a bunch of shit. That's I think what the reaction was to it. It's just like AI is replacing real artists. Period.
But see, I guess for me, that's what I find interesting is that GarageBand, Logic, all of that, it has everybody uses sequencers with digital versions of actual instruments. So that's what I didn't see AI in there anywhere. I just saw, hey, you could do all this shit on the iPad, but yeah, people are sensitive, but they too sensitive.
I think it's more alarming now. I just think it's more alarming at this juncture because AI has come a long fucking way.
You sure you don't want to blame Drake for this?
Oh no, I can blame him for other shit. Another point that people made about the ad is that this is where diversity can be helpful. And when I say diversity, I do not mean keeping a black person in a room. That's not the fuck I'm talking about. But this is somewhere where like groupthink, everybody's, oh no, this is great. And I don't know if somebody was in a room who was afraid to say something or somebody did say something and y'all ignored that person. I don't know. But for it to be widely criticized the way it is and for them to be like, oops, our bad, that was a lot of money.
Well, go ahead.
Here's what I would do if I was Apple. If I was Apple, I would hire people to look at the people that were complaining about the ad, correct? Then I would find out where those people lived. I would then send people out if if they end up purchasing the new Apple iPad, I would have someone go out and slap it out of their hands.
I approve this. I approve this plan. I approve this plan. Because Apple is not a. Because I literally would have been like, I said what the fuck I said. Y'all too sensitive. Apple is not that company because they already $1 trillion. You don't get to be $1 trillion company by telling niggas I said what I said. You tell them you sorry and keep it moving and replace whatever the problem was. So it's a smart move for them to apologize. But yeah, it's too many snowflakes out here.
Stop replacing real artists.
When after we finish this, just remind me. Once we finish this, remind me to tell you guys afterwards about an Apple story regarding one of my buddies.
Oh, you're not going to share on the air? Okay.
Okay. So basically, to keep it simple, Apple was being sued for patent infringement, and a buddy I know was working with. He was a lead counsel on the case, and basically, Apple said buy the company. And they bought the company, and then of course the lawsuit went away.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. It was like he was explaining to me what was being said in court, and basically Apple took offense to it and just said, you know what, let's just end this and just buy the company.
Yeah.
So they bought the
company. Why do y'all think Instagram is a part of the Meta umbrella now? That's part of the reason. These motherfuckers buy out the competition, and luckily they allow Instagram to continue to exist because Facebook bought one of them. It wasn't WhatsApp. I forget the other one. It was one from back in the day from about 8 years ago. And Snapchat? Yes, I want to say it was Snapchat. And like it fell off after that. It's like Microsoft is doing it right now. These video game companies. Microsoft done bought up a bunch. They bought Blizzard. They bought a bunch of these fucking game companies, and now they laying people off. And everybody's like, these companies was doing great until y'all it was Blizzard Activision. Yeah, Blizzard and Activision. So
it says Snapchat is now owned by. It's not owned by Meta. It's actually owned by a company called Snap Inc. Okay, that is. Discord is owned by an independent company. Okay. Threads is obviously owned by Meta.
It may have been WhatsApp. It may have been WhatsApp.
It might have been WhatsApp.
I just got to it. WhatsApp is owned by Meta.
Okay, I had them mixed up. It's WhatsApp. You know the young people. I ain't never used neither one of these fucking apps. WhatsApp, Snapchat sound exactly the same to my old ass. So
WhatsApp, I did not like it when I first got forced into it, but now it's very useful. What did you say, Chavez?
Yo, every time I hear someone say Snapchat, I think about the Kendrick the Entertainer joke. But he was talking about he's too old to be using like these all this. He's like, Snapchat that P. He's like, when I'm gonna hit up a girl and tell her to Snapchat that
P. Seriously, facts. Okay, Drake. The headline is it over? Meaning the beef. Drake shares cryptic message as the internet debates who won in Kendrick's Lamar's rap battle. So during the early hours of Thursday, May 9th, I'm reading from the article, Drake took to his Instagram story to share a video. The clip appears to show him watching the first few minutes of a first episode of this miniseries called A Man in Full. I had never heard of it. It's a show that follows the life of a real estate mogul who faces bankruptcy and tries to defend his empire from those attempting to capitalize on his fall from grace. And in the clip, the main character is seen lying on the ground as his thoughts are narrated to the viewer. And I quote, "I don't mean this as a criticism, or maybe I do, but when you die, will people notice? When I go, there are going to be a lot of memories of me by a lot of people, many who hate me. But even so, a person needs to live with vigor. Otherwise, what's the point?"
I took that as meaning he about to re-up and re-attack. I did not take that as he's lying down and taking it. I believe he's not done.
I took it as him being dramatic. Chavez?
Drake? Well, so what I'll say is this, no diss to my peeps from Canada, or the people that watched the show that Drake was on when he was a youngster.
Degrassi Night.
If you look at people, right? I'm looking at right. Degrassi Junior High. If we look at Drake and we look at Degrassi Junior High, right? And then I don't know if you guys heard the story about Kendrick was talking about when he first met either NWA or Ice Cube or someone from that camp. He said he was on his dad's shoulders. So his dad was carrying him around, and he spoke about how that was, like really life-changing for him to meet, these people from NWA. If we just look at these two environments, right, these people come from, I'm just gonna say Drake needs to back off. He really does need to just stay in his lane. He's doing his thing. Drake is the man for what he does. But yeah.
So funny. I don't know if you got a chance to see the tweet.
Back off.
I don't know if you got a chance to see the tweet that is Lil Wayne during the interview talking about how he told Drake years ago. Don't try and act tough and rap. Just rap what you know about. Rap about girls, but rap about parties. He said, rap about Canada. Rap about the TV show you was on. Don't try and rap like I rap.
Your feelings, your emotions. Yeah.
He said, keep it Canadian. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
I have it here.
Oh, okay.
I was the one to tell him, don't change anything. Don't think because you're coming over here by me that you got to start rapping about the things I rap about. Don't do none of that. Please rap about your little TV show, whatever you want to rap about.
How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough?
Rap about girls, do that. That's what you're good at. I was like,
I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough.
Don't change anything. Don't start singing about killing nobody. Don't start singing about the streets.
Yeah, talk about what you know. Yeah.
Yeah, just like keep it Canadian, man.
Keep it.
Rather do that than let a Canadian nigga make Pac turn in his grave.
Yeah, y'all will have to correct me on this. I mean, I honestly don't know what I'm missing here. When I hear Drake songs, for the most part, I hear Drake talking about bitches that curved him that he's still in love with. He talk about all his money. He talk about partying with his boys. He talk about how they on top and you can't fuck with his crew. That's what every nigga in rap raps about. I don't hear him saying fuck the police. I don't hear him talking about selling drugs. So the street thing that everybody is alluding to, other than him saying something metaphorical, I don't know what anybody is talking about. I don't know what he's doing that is different from what all the other niggas are doing. I'm lost on this. I'm lost on it. People would have to actually show me some blatant examples. I don't know why the standard is different. All these niggas rap about the same thing. So that's all I'm saying is when I think about what the gangster niggas rap about, I've never heard Drake rapping about that. So I'm confused. That's where my confusion is coming from. Correct me, because I don't listen to rap like that. Just the ones I've heard about. I hear the nigga rapping about women more than anything else. The other stuff, I done literally heard people say, the nigga got too arrogant. Do you know rappers are the most arrogant fucking biological creatures on this planet? Every rapper thinks that they're better than the next one. All of them are arrogant. So I don't know what the issue is. If somebody can tell me, look, I will shut up. It's just not clear to me. I don't understand.
I wouldn't. You can take that thing down. I wouldn't. Go ahead, Chavez.
I was just gonna say it's just now, just with this battle, just know who you're up against now that it's been a battle. Like, it was fun. You guys kind of got a chance to do your thing, but now you just kind of got to recognize what type of organism you're up against, and it's just not your thing. Like, it's not your thing.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that means, Chavez. You like I'm saying. I need some specifics here, because to me, when the thing with question,
if this is a rap battle, if it's a rap battle where they're going back and forth, because that's what's been happening. There's been a rap battle, right? That's what's been happening. So what I'm saying is, now that there's a rap battle, you need to like know that that's not your world. Like no matter who started, if Kendrick started, if Drake started, like okay, you guys have battled a little bit, but now it's like you don't want to keep going because you're losing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're losing now. So and when I say losing, I'm not saying like he's a successful.
Yeah, that's the part I'm not understanding, because all rappers are allowed to respond when somebody sends shots to them. That's where I'm lost. And my thing is with both of them, I've held both of them accountable. Questlove came out and said hip hop is dead because this ain't shit but mudslinging. And I have said that since the beginning. All the way from Pusha T, the narrative changed. That is not what beef was about before. Nobody was dragging kids and wives into these rap battles. And that is it's something completely different. Niggas getting shot. It's not the same thing.
If my understanding is correct, Drake mentioned Pusha T's fiance, which is why Pusha T came back at him the way he did.
Right. So
I'm saying, so like, but I think to the point that I'm gonna say Lil Wayne, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of, but I'd never heard that statement from him. It's like, okay, yeah, you rapping about girls, you rapping about parties, rapping about how much money you got. When you step into a lane with niggas who grew up selling drugs and living a certain life, and you want to bring up their wives, or you want to kind of pop off about them, at some point it might move off of like, this is just hip hop or us, I'm the dopest, I'm the baddest, to nigga, I'm from the street and you're not. That's all I'm saying.
I understand that.
And that's what I'm getting at.
And please understand, Pusha T's street cred has been questionable as well. It's been questioned. But at any rate, what I'm saying here is, I don't know how we got to that point, but I can guarantee if we go back and look at why Drake mentioned that man's fiance, I'm not justifying it. What I'm saying is that wherever it started, and as I stated before, I expect that type of behavior. The response that we got from Pusha T, I expect that from somebody like Pusha T. I don't expect it from a Kendrick. So either way, I agree with you. Say again.
Why don't you expect that from Kendrick?
Because Kendrick is a conscious rapper. Pusha T is not. Pusha T raps about selling drugs. That is not what Kendrick raps about. Kendrick is a Pulitzer Prize winning rapper. His lane is completely different. Pusha T is more analogous to the native tongues than he is to Death Row, despite the fact that he has a relationship with Dr. Dre. In terms of the content, it is not the same. So that's why I was shocked by that. So yeah, I am agreeing with you. Drake should not have brought up that man's wife, and that went left. I feel like it should have ended when that fucking battle ended. But now we moving, and it's getting even more serious, because when Drake mentioned his fiance, he mentioned her name. He didn't say anything salacious about her. What's being said now? Kids are being told that I wish your grandfather wore a condom. That's not cool. No matter what side it comes from, it's not cool.
I'm not saying it's cool or not. I'm still giving. I'm not saying Kendrick is grew up exactly the same way as Pusha T, but I feel like their experiences and their formative youthful years are still different from Drake's. So even though Kendrick is more conscious as a rapper, right?
And I'll go back and say what I said.
Yeah, so I'm still saying like he's still coming
back to say what I said before.
Go ahead, Shabazz.
No, I was just gonna say what I said before. Kendrick talks about how impactful meeting either was NWA or Dre or Q while he was on his dad's show. Like Kendrick grew up around it. He may not be spitting it, but he grew up around it. And all I would say is, what would be really, what would be really foul is if like Kendrick came out with a T-shirt that said "Keep it Canadian."
I mean, they love harping on that.
That would
like,
be hilarious.
And see, and wait, Kristen. Yeah, first off, fuck the bitch in the clique you claim. Okay, Pac wasn't a street nigga. Pac said that shit, and he ended up. We still not sure if Puffy had anything to do with it or not. So that's what I'm saying is that. It is when neat to me, as much as people try and act like Kendrick is adjacent to that, his lyrical notebook does not reflect that. His notebook reflects it reflects lyricism. It reflects a certain degree of I don't know, black power, black positivity. That is what I get from Kendrick. I don't get Tupac from Kendrick.
No,
I don't get that.
I read recently too, though, that Pac was warned, don't try and do this gangster shit. But he, was rolling with Suge and was like, okay, bet I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be that nigga. Well, now you're dead. So I hear that, but I think that's the same warning Wayne was trying to give Drake. You not a street dude. So when you battle him with a street dude, you might just want to keep that in mind, right? So, and I'm just double checking Kendrick because I don't know fully how he grew up. I knew Compton. His dad was a former gang hustler.
Okay,
I'm saying gangster disciples. Like he grew up in a certain environment that Drake did not.
And what I'm saying is that, can y'all be clear here? Stop. Now, see, every time I bring this up, everybody removes the person I'm talking about from it. I ain't talking about Kendrick's father. I'm talking about Kendrick. Kendrick was not a drug dealer. Kendrick is not a gang member. So that is all I'm saying. That is why I'm confused. Particularly when you look at the content in his music. Drake's father was Drake. Wait. From that argument, Drake's father was a hustler. They say Drake claims that he spent summers in Memphis. Does that give him carte blanche to say things that are reflective of his father's lifestyle? That's all I'm saying is that neither one of these niggas.
Let me tell you what the difference is. The difference lies in it's a difference between visiting and living in an environment. When you visit an environment and you visiting for a month or 2 or 3, I've done stuff like that too. I've gone places. There's a complete difference when you live there. It's kind of like GQ Smooth up in Cuba Gooding Jr. on Boys in the Hood. Like, yeah, he was still in it. He was impacted by that environment all day, every day.
Like you can't,
whether or not he engaged in it.
I think that's so unfair for y'all to sit here and say that if he spent summers in Memphis, that makes it different. Y'all don't know what he did in Memphis. Like, that's like, to me, this is what the problem is. People make excuses for the one person and they excuse everything from the other person when they move in a way that is not reflective of how they were moving before. That's just how I stand on it.
Honestly, Antoine, when he would talk about the Memphis, I was like to myself, I'm like, maybe that is where he got when he attempts his street cred. I mean, honestly, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt in those instances. I'm more so talking about, I'm not saying Kendrick was in a fucking gang, but if his daddy was, and he was in that, and he was at least adjacent to the environment, they talk about him like witnessing motherfuckers getting popped in front of him when he was like 8 and 9 years old. That's still like a different energy. My main point is Drake, Memphis creds or not, doesn't come off in the same way as from a certain level of the streets as like Kendrick, even though he's a conscious rapper, he still got, look, I didn't realize how much the hood had an effect on me till I took my fucking ass to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I never thought of myself as a product of that particular environment. And to some degree, I'm still not, because I kind of moved outside of it. But when you are looking at how other people were raised, you're like, okay, my perspective is a little different in terms of like how we talking. I think this example works a little bit. Look, Real Housewives of Potomac, motherfucking Candace and motherfucking Monique. Monique was raised, she had to fight. She had to battle, right? Candace was raised upper middle class, little bougie ass girl. Cool. Candace want to pop off 24/7. Oh, what's up? Monique is like, look, where I'm from, okay, you keep saying shit, you gonna get popped, right? So, and this became a whole big thing in terms of how people were reacting to the behavior. I'm like, see, Candace didn't grow up in an environment where that type of shit, that type of popping off, got your ass popped. She was protected in her environment. And I'm not even knocking it, but I'm like, this is a different perspective on things. So when we now beefing, it behoove you to fucking fall back. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So all that to say, I still keep thinking Kendrick won.
And I say that for a person's protection. And I say that for a person's protection because here's the problem, and here's where it gets crazy. And unfortunately, here's where it gets crazy. So things can escalate, right? But because Kendrick is where he's from, people that are in these type of environments will get behind Kendrick, and now they will start choosing sides. And they're going to choose, regardless of what Kendrick is pushing. I hear and feel in Kendrick where he came from. And when I listen to Drake, I hear and I feel where Drake comes from. And it is a stark difference in where they came from. So now the danger becomes, if you play in that world, even though it doesn't seem like a big deal, it can become something that we don't want it to become. I had a conversation with one of my boys, and it's like, I had a conversation with one of my boys, and he said, you know what? He said, sometimes you have to be humble enough to say it ain't worth it. You have to, even if that other person is doing what they want to do, you got to be humble enough to say it ain't worth it. Hold on, Dirty Bands. Biggie's number one. Dirty Bands, stop. Biggie's number one.
I do think
take that.
I just caught that. He got he got the owl next to it. Now wait, and I want to be clear here, Dirty Bands. I want to be very clear here. I always have to say this because I am coming from a purely Democratic perspective. I am not fully immersed in the music or the backgrounds of either one of these two. I'm just coming from the perspective of if you're a rap artist and niggas talk shit about you, you get to talk shit about them back. The issue for me is what this has devolved into. I think this could have remained a friendly battle where they both talked about what each other looked like, all these other things, but it done turned into something else. Yeah. And to me, it's transcended that. And to me, it's not even about where you from or anything. It's mudslinging. So yeah, I don't like that part. So yeah, I'm trying to hold both of them accountable, and niggas are telling me to shut up. This is who Kendrick is, and that's not who I saw him as being before this battle. That's all I'm saying.
Also, this is who Drake is. Occasionally an emo bitch. Sorry, like that's just how he gets down. That's who he's been. Like that's not news. Aubrey be doing Aubrey. It is what it is.
I don't think somebody is an emo bitch when a nigga tells you it ain't the big three, it's just big me, and you calling him an emo bitch for responding to that. I don't agree with that.
I'm not calling him an emo bitch for responding to that. I'm calling him
an emo bitch
for the other shit he does. That ain't that. No, like you can respond to somebody. Yeah, Drake, come out with no, I'm the best, nigga. Like, okay, fine, sure, no problem. Right. But the other shit you do, what's this laying on the floor talking about? Was it all worth it? It's vigor. Whatever on Drake. Anyway, I wanted to add this.
Dirty Bands, you
and look. Oh man, and he about to I'm about to close my laptop. I am about to close my laptop.
He got the emoji at the end.
That lineup, number one Drake, that's crazy. But whatever. I wanted to add about Quest.
Did you see Quest's face when she talked?
What did you say, Shanaz?
No, I said, did everyone see? Did everyone see your face when you saw that Drake is number one?
I'm trying to push it on. This is whatever. I'm gonna keep it pushing. But about Questlove, I saw his comment. He got a lot of pushback on that. At least on Twitter, I didn't see, but I'm assuming other social media platforms as well. Like just kind of like, first of all, he's giving "old man get off my lawn" vibe.
It don't make it not true though. It don't make it not true.
Yes, it has gone someplace else, but I'm sorry, we are in a different era, right or wrong. I wouldn't sit here and say hip hop is dead. That was pretty.
Now that's the one. Now I don't know why he said that. I think what he should have said was, "I'm disappointed in where hip hop is right now." That would have been a more fair. He shouldn't have said hip hop is dead. I don't agree with him on that.
Yeah, like
it's definitely not dead.
Cats are like, okay, dude, like the way you tried to articulate how you feeling about it, that's where he's getting the pushback. And now you care. I don't know. There's a lot of commentary on, like I said, on Twitter at least about, oh, now we care about women and children, but whatever. I'm just saying he got a lot of pushback for that. But no, I hope it's done.
And here's the thing. And here's part of the reason why I say what I say about Kendrick, because I'm a private school kid. I went to first grade. I went to Timothy Lutheran School, first grade through 8th grade. I went to Luther South High School, for high school, right? But I grew up on 79th and Marshfield, which is right off of Ashland, like one block west of Ashland. I grew up in the hood, and the name of my neighborhood is Killer Ward. So there's a part of me that had to be a certain way in order to survive, right? And that part of me is in me. I am not that way 90% of the time. I'm probably not that way 95% of the time. But there are people out here. There are people that are out here who will tell you, "Oh, he got another side," and most people wouldn't know that. The average person that's met me out here in California would have no idea. But I got people back in Chicago that'll be like, "Yo," you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I say that about Kendrick. It's just the environment you grow up in kind of it does have that negative impact, and it's not right or it's not wrong. But I hate to see people what I'm not liking about what this battle is doing, and like you said, Antoine, what it's becoming is once you get the hood involved, it's hard to cut it off, bro. And it's like that's the unfortunate part about it. Once you get them behind, they can be kind of wild with things, and you can't turn them off.
I agree.
What are we looking at right now? What is
so just in terms of some of the funny, Oscar Mayer came out with a they had a post and it says Lizzie on it. Somebody said mustard on the beat.
I can't.
I mean, and then the person sorry, Antoine, the person who tweeted this said beef, quite literally. Brilliant. Go ahead, Antoine.
Yeah, see, now, last episode when the young lady from Princeton told Vlad, you are white, this is a black space, stay out of it. Now we literally have a white-ass company capitalizing on it, and everybody is laughing at it. Which one is it? Everybody picks and chooses how they feel. I thought this was a black space, white people ain't supposed to comment.
Vlad already has strikes against him, and he wanted to drop in talking about I don't like the mix. They ain't commenting on the content. They just like, we got jokes too, nigga. Like, so what's up? Like, they got jokes. Vlad was trying to enter his ass substantively into a conversation cats were not trying to hear from him about. That's where Vlad got. He also did a real apology. Finally came through. Cats
he had no choice but to do that. His back was up against the wall on that one.
That's what he did. Then also,
so Sarita.
Thank you, Kristen. See, y'all have fun. Y'all have fun, okay? Wait,
this nigga security guard is in critical condition. It's escalated.
Maybe Blake should have stopped after Kendrick's first response.
Right. Yeah, Karen said when the brands are chiming in, it's over. Karen, you're right, because the day before, the Biden-Harris headquarters done chimed in and made a meme out of it.
So Kendrick has won. Also, again, as we mentioned on Wednesday, Not Like Us is projected to debut at number 1 on the Billboard. It's aimed to be the highest streaming debut for a solo rap song this decade. This decade. 7-Eleven tweeted, "You're not like us."
Yo.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Thank you,
Jason. Don't feel.
I wasn't offering up a critique.
Yo,
go ahead.
So
go ahead, Chavez, because the audio.
No. I was saying Sarita was saying like no, but I was saying what Sarita was saying that like she thinks Questlove was speaking from the 4 pillars of hip hop. Like he was probably speaking from the fundamental aspect of where hip hop was coming from. And being Questlove, being who he is, more than likely that's probably what he is doing though. He's speaking from that perspective, not what it is and what it's become.
I mean, and look,
Oscar Mayer ain't offer up no.
Sorry, no, mad love for Questlove is just the way that was presented, the way he dropped it. Cats are like, okay, dude, like seriously, hip hop dead. This little dramatic, player. Also, Antoine, were you able to pull up the new Ho King, the Toronto restaurant?
Yeah, hold
on. Okay, the bands. Kristen said, "Listen, the bands are performing. This has brought out the best in them. I am not mad. Carry on, dude." Aside from a few people getting shot, which I do not condone. Nobody wants that.
Okay.
But the elements of this that have been amusing have been fun. So please stop shooting at people. So New Ho King, the Toronto restaurant that Kendrick Lamar name dropped on his Drake diss track Euphoria, now has a menu item called the Kendrick Special, which we mentioned on Wednesday, but I didn't have video. We didn't have video footage.
Yuho King, after Kendrick's diss track of Drake, is a fever dream. There were people dancing outside, and Blog TL was even there. I even started dancing, but we came here at night for one thing and one thing only.
I heard there's a Kendrick Lamar special. Is that true? No problem? All right, I'm excited, man. I don't even know what I ordered. I just asked for the Kendrick Lamar special.
The manager ended up ordering us 4 dishes for $66 total. And of course, the first dish he ordered us was the Yuho King House Special Fried Rice. They gave us the dip sauce, of course, but personally, I liked it without it. I honestly didn't have high expectations, but I was shocked.
Honestly, it might be one of the best fried rices I've ever had.
This is really good.
This fried rice had incredible wok hei. But the second dish the manager ordered us was this deep fried shrimp dish. I think it's fried with chilies and crispy garlic. They definitely made this fresh to order because it was piping hot. But they also ordered us their spicy chicken wings. The wings are loaded with chilies. I love that they also made this fresh, but I personally love the shrimp better. But this beef broccoli definitely came hot off the wok because this one also burnt me. And finally, to appease our wives for going out late, we bought them bubble tea. Yuho King, after Kendrick's diss track of Drake.
Yeah, that food look good. I don't want fried food, but that food look good. Not gonna fry.
That fried rice look fire.
Right? Wait, and also somebody, the person who's really winning this is that restaurant.
Yeah.
They
that's true.
Up. So yeah, no one else should be shot. We don't want that. Nobody, please stop shooting at people. But and I hope it's done. I really do hope it's done. So we should move on. Speaking of moving on,
you know damn well it ain't.
Well, no, because like this
I wasn't gonna say it. It's not.
Look, Kendrick has won. And I just don't want anybody else actually to get legitimately shot and killed. Like then it's just terrible.
I'm with Questlove. We've all lost. We've lost and we are lost at this point.
Whatever. Look, okay, fine. You know who I'm blaming on? You know who I'm blaming on, Antoine? I'm gonna blame it on Trump. Okay, so speaking of, that's when that motherfucker came to office.
Before we get into that, please make sure. Before we get into that, please make sure that you like and make sure you like it.
Like the video, Thank you, Chavez.
Wait, it's just funny, Chavez. This is no disrespect to you because you're the third person to have to deal with this, and God bless you for dealing with the delay. But it'd be like watching a bad kung fu movie when that shit happens. The words come Samurai 10 seconds Sunday. Later.
Samurai.
Yeah, and since we all grew up with those, it's fitting, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, who is Dirty Bands? Welcome to the Bands Collective.
Yes, welcome, Dirty Bands. I'm loving the troll, and I'm loving it.
I didn't like that lineup though, but welcome, to the fam, to militia. All right, Trump. So,
wait, real quick.
Yes.
Nobody talked about this line, and I forgot about it. So he said, when Drake said, "Fuck the big three, it's just Big D," and there's video proof. He was talking about what?
We showed that video proof.
Yeah. It's just funny. I never heard it. Nobody talked about that. I guess nobody thought it.
Nobody cares.
Dirty Bands, I didn't think he was out of line.
I didn't care. Don't care.
Okay, back to Trump. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Yes, Karen, we are glad that restaurants are making money. So, Trump trials. What I was saying is in 2016, when Trump came in office, he came in on straight up fucking hate. Okay. His hate, that's a whole nother level of fucking hate. All right. So he has ushered in a really horrible era.
Yeah.
All right. So day 14 and 15 of the trial, which was yesterday and today. So Stormy Daniels was on the witness stand. She's now under cross. And the defense was basically tried to come straight at her. And defense counsel was like, "You made all this up, right?" She was like, "No." She also accused Miss Daniels of lying about details of the night. And she was like, "Your story has completely changed, hasn't it?" She's like, "You're trying to make me say that it has changed, but it hasn't." And every time defense tried to be like, "Well, this is what you said," she would go, "Nope, pause. how about you read back the transcript and we'll see. And almost like every single time, it was inaccurate based upon what the defense counsel said. So Stormy was like, you ain't about to fucking run over me, bitch. I'm smart, okay? So just be clear.
What is up with that? I mean, you know you liked it. Y'all leave me alone. Crescent, what is up with the bad lawyering? Like, why do you not have your facts straight? This woman is the one who said it. You think you gonna trip her up? She gonna be like, no, what I said was, I was there, you weren't. Pull that fucking article up that you lying about. Where did these motherfuckers get their law degrees from?
Ask it again. Ask the question again.
I don't even remember what my question was.
With the bad lawyering.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is horrible. And
she read them for filth.
She did. She absolutely did. And look, MSNBC, and you know, it's a mix of lawyers, non-lawyers who are on-air personalities. And one woman said, she was like, I'm not a lawyer, but I know you're not supposed to ask questions that you don't already know the answer to. That's like a first day in law school thing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She continued, right? She continued trying to say, and then she was trying to slut shame her for her profession. She was like, she also mentioned her being a writer of adult films. She's like, you have a lot of experience making up phony stories about make sex appear to be real. So Stormy said, wow, that's not how I would put it. The sex in the films is very much real, just like what happened to me in that room.
Gangster.
Right?
Gangster.
Then she
R.I.P. Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo. That was Gangsta Boo right there. That was Gangsta Boo.
I fucks with Stormy. Then later, the lady, the defense counsel implied that Stormy had made up the story of the night with Trump. And then Stormy said, I would have written a lot better. Like, that's not.
That was good. That was good.
I would have written it better. And then also she tried to clown her, talking about trying to monetize her story about Trump, right? She had a book, she did a tour of strip clubs, she had merchandise. And she's like, yeah, like Trump. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They got states and build like Bibles. He's selling Bibles right now.
Yeah.
Please stop. Please stop.
Got the black label shoes, making niggas think you went out and paid somebody to design a beautiful shoe, and you did not. You put a fucking Tia on some pre-existing shoes. You cheap ass motherfucker. You owe Fat Joe some money because he thought he was on the hype beast. He thought he was a hype beast getting a hot new shoe, and then the motherfucker starts selling. It's like, you can have the same shoe for $39.99 without that motherfucking Tia on it.
Look, Antoine, get the $39.99 one, and then draw your own gold tee.
Just draw a tee on it.
Yeah, get you like what's the go to Michael's or one of them art supply stores. You know what I mean? Just you hook that shit up.
Oh my God.
Sorry. She also talked about the negative side of this. She's like, I had to hire security because of like threats, and then they tried to threaten my daughter. And she said, overall, going public has been a negative experience. She's like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm just trying to fucking survive and do what I can with this experience.
I believe her.
Yeah. Then there was also this former White House aide, this Madeleine Westerhout. I don't fucking care. She cried because she's still in love she just still loves Trump. So this heifer got fired because she got drunk one night and talked to a reporter and was like, yeah, he don't want to be photographed with Tiffany and like all this shit. So it got really messy. And Trump was like, you gotta go.
But at the same time, let me go ahead, Chavez.
I will say this. It was definitely because of the history of these particular women crying and what happens a lot of times behind it. The crying that Hope Hicks did and the crying that this woman did that you spoke about, Crescent, really, it didn't even have an effect on me at all because we're so used to hearing about them crying for other reasons that end up impacting us in a very negative way.
Yeah. I also feel like this is something that isn't being said. How the fuck that we don't know that woman ain't scared? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, how do we not know that? She got caught with her hand in the cookie jar, and we know how crazy these fucking MAGA supporters are. How do we know that she's not fearing for her life? And that's why she's, done a full 180 when she got caught saying these things. Like, I don't know.
She since they talked about it, they asked her on the stand, like, has he forgiven you? And like, she's like, he has, and he winked at her and smiled at her in the courtroom and shit.
That's what I mean. That could be performative. That's all I'm saying. She seemed emotionally unstable towards the end. I don't know.
I think though that when you're in the cult, now Hope Hicks crying, honestly, I feel like this juncture for her is just emotional. Like, she has been on a roller coaster, and she has been very clear about, I do not support him. I will not be voting for him. I will be voting for Biden. She's been very clear about that train. This Madeline person, I don't think so. And then getting caught with her hand in the cookie jar, I mean, she was just telling the truth. He didn't like to be photographed with Tiffany. She just wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
I need Tiffany to get a contract with MSNBC or CNN and just, nigga, go for it. Do it. Do it for the people. Look, if she were to do that, dare I say it, she would have a Kendrick Lamar moment for at least a few months. They be naming Chinese food after her and shit in Washington, D.C.
Right. I'm not saying she needs to hire Kendrick as a ghostwriter, but hire him as like a producer.
Yes. Give the people what they want, Tiffany.
But yeah, she was obviously a reluctant witness for the prosecution, and her sole kind of main purpose was to just say, yes, I saw him signing checks in 2017. Like, that's because I sat right outside the Oval Office and would, be the person bringing him the checks to sign. So that was, and she didn't want to be there to do that, but she was also like, I ain't going to jail for your ass. So like, when it was time, Cross was like really nice to her because they're like, we know you're still, you're still like in the fam, whatever. So that was her purpose, but moving on. So quickly, Dirty Bands. Yes, we have talked about him farting in the courtroom.
And you gotta go watch the episode where I talk about I had an Uber passenger who said he has an ass man that goes in the bathroom with him. He has some allegedly he has some sort of gastrointestinal issue. And she said, watch him every time he go in the bathroom. There's some man that goes in there with him. So, and if you go to jail, you're not allowed. I mean, at least niggas not allowed to have an ass man with him. So, I don't know. So,
what I appreciate. Go ahead, Shabazz.
He's the former president. He would be going with an ass man.
Well, look, somebody said today, if he goes to jail, why does he still need Secret Service? They got guards. Ain't nobody coming after him in there. Like, they have guards.
That's true.
They got guards.
That's true.
I don't want to forget to say, my thing about the passing gas is that he would fall asleep and pass gas. That's the part that's like really got just, if that ain't giving an old man, nigga, what?
Look. So I was listening to my favorite podcast. It's Madeline Brand's Press Play. It's an NPR KCRW podcast. So somebody was talking about a movie, and I wanted to go online and look at the trailer. So I went on YouTube, and when I went on YouTube, I saw a video, and it said Jake Tapper did some sketches while he was in the courtroom during the Hush Money trial. And I'm like, Jake Tapper was doing the sketches? So I saw an image. Now, have y'all seen these sketches from the Hush Money trial?
I've seen some of them. I don't know if I've seen Jake's. Are there Jakes that are being used?
Jake showed his and gave his account of what he saw in the courtroom. And when you look at the comments under the video, people are like, finally somebody got it right. Somebody knows how to draw. These courtroom drawings have looked crazy. These sketches have looked fucking crazy. But I'm gonna tell y'all, look, Jake Tapper is bae now, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't watch MSNBC like Crescent does.
Too much.
One day I turned on the TV and Jake Tapper was going to fuck. He was cussing niggas out. He's like, what the fuck is going on here? Look, I think I got an erection when I saw it. I was like, go off on him some more, Jake. Get him.
He's been known to go ham.
He's been bait ever since then. Yeah, so go look at, if y'all have a chance, just go on YouTube, type in Jake Tapper and maybe court sketches or just sketches, and the video will come up. The comments are wild.
If you type in Jake Tapper sketches, a bunch of stuff will come up of what Antoine's talking about. But also speaking of the kids, so we didn't mention this, but Barron was supposed to be a delegate at the Republican National Convention. And that was announced, like, I think Tuesday or Wednesday. We just didn't talk about it because I was like, meh, we'll see.
Yeah.
He's now. Well, I saw today that shit has been shut down. And they said Melania was like, no, you're not. No.
Really? Good for her. Good for her.
He's not like.
Yeah, because they showed, I saw the Young Turks, who I don't really watch anymore. They had a couple problematic. I was like, eh.
They sure did.
Yeah, I had to stop fucking with them. But it came up, and I saw that they showed how many people from Trump's circle and even from his family are delegates already. And I'm like, it was like 7 or 8 people. I'm like, that's allowed? Like, that's crazy.
The fact that they took over the RNC, please don't get me started. Two things. One, Tony said he is entitled to Secret Service protection until Congress takes the privilege away. Right. And that's actually what they're talking about on MSNBC today, is that, you know, if we take back Congress, then maybe we could take that privilege away. Basically, if your ass gets indicted, you don't get Secret Service protection anymore. You know, and it's again only relevant to one person who's since left the White House, and that would be Trump. So Juba, I wanted to mention Juba's comment. He said, don't you feel like Trump already has a juror paid off? He'll go free again. I don't think so yet. I am a little bit nervous. There's 2 lawyers on the jury. You know, I don't need to overthinking shit. So, you know, but we'll see. And then last one is, I don't know if y'all saw Jason's comment. He said, Chavez,
don't get your hopes up.
Chavez, do me a favor for the delay thing. Can you get to say your kung fu? It's very unorthodox. Surely you have the greatest kung fu in all, or I don't.
I put it up there when he said it.
Okay, all right. Since we got the delay. Yeah, Karen, I know.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
He would talk your fucking head off.
Ugh, gross. Just grossness. All right. Also from like the day 14. So there's no carve out for the gag order, meaning Trump attorney, the defense attorney asked for Trump if he could publicly defend himself against Stormy's allegations, arguing that the president currently is forced to sit silent and stay silent in response to the suggestion that there was a non-consensual sexual encounter, which she said it was consensual. He just didn't like the way she was fucking talking about it. So fuck you and no, you can. The judge was like, nah, sorry, babe, sorry. Also, another mistrial motion was denied. Judge also told defense, y'all should have objected more to some of the more salacious things she was saying. That's on y'all. So again, Antoine, these lawyers are not good.
I mean, it's like, I will say this. Law and Order, SVU, you've been lying to me this whole fucking time. Because you know, and I've done this before, but fuck it, y'all ain't seen it. Law and Order SVU, I would say all of them, the format is identical. You had his witness up there, and they know the witness done something fucked up, and they treating them nice. Yeah, so you and your sister came here to be models. Yes. We both came to be models. We both found a lot of success. Well, I mean, actually, your sister was a little more successful than you. I mean, yeah, but I worked just as hard. You know, I think, Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as hostile. You were jealous of your sister, weren't you? You were jealous. No, I'm as pretty as she is. You killed your sister out of jealousy. I was better than her. I deserved all the accolades. I'm just as pretty as her. And then they look around like, did I just say this in fucking open court? That is every fucking episode.
Not a full scene.
Hey,
I mean, Chavez.
Antoine forgot to say scene at the end.
Yeah, he did. Maybe there's a part for him in your next production. It's like an audition to me. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God.
Wait, Beverly said that we see the wig thread hanging from the back of his hair because that shit was hilarious. So
No.
I heard them say so. I had the volume down, but they were looking. They had an image of the back of his head, and I was like, "What are we looking at?"
Like the thread people use to thread weave into their head. I can't. I cannot.
Okay, so moving on. Michael Cohen got next. He's up on Monday. In anticipation of calling him up, they introduced a bunch of text messages and phone records into evidence. So entirely possible prosecution could rest their case by like end of next week. He is expected, obviously, to testify about his role in negotiating the hush money payment to Stormy, as well as how he was reimbursed through the retainer payments in 2017. So remember, y'all, he was federally charged with campaign finance violations, tax crimes, and lying to Congress. Okay. And he went to jail for this very same thing that's at issue right now. Defense asked the judge, this is the other thing too. Cohen been out in these streets, in these social media streets, just popping off. He did a TikTok video this week wearing a t-shirt showing Trump behind bars. Sorry. And so defense is
fuck it. Michael Cohen Bay now too, out here doing the Lord's work. I'd fuck him too. Fuck it.
Oh God. So defense, go ahead, Chavez.
Damn.
Oh God. So
Reluctantly, I would. Reluctantly, as long as you continue to wear these salacious ass shirts, shitting all over Trump, I'll let you have a shot.
Whew. Okay, so the defense asked the judge, can you please tell Cohen to stop talking? Stop talking about the trial, stop talking about Trump. And because Trump can't talk about him because of the gag order, right? And so prosecution said, look, we have told all the witnesses, please do not talk about this trial, please don't talk about Trump. But they admitted they don't have control over what these motherfuckers are doing, right? So the judge has already said he cannot gag witnesses in this case. They're not the defendants, okay?
I'm not a lawyer, but I ain't never heard of this. The defendant is actually out here wilding out. He will not follow instructions. And then the judge, reprimands him. And then he starts pointing to other motherfuckers like, well, Johnny's doing it too. It's like, motherfucker, Johnny didn't use campaign funds to pay a porn star off. So Johnny can say whatever the fuck he want to say. I'm not a lawyer, and I know the judge gonna say, hell no, he can say whatever he wants.
So he did. So the judge did say this, though. He's like, I cannot gag the witnesses. However, prosecution, would you please tell Michael Cohen that I said, could you chill out? Could you fall back and just chill, okay? Would you send the message? It comes from
You know what it is? Michael Cohen knows that he is Trump, right? So he knows how to get back at Trump. And like Trump made that statement about how he has to get back at a person in spades. Michael Cohen is doing that right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Michael Cohen is an actual attorney, so him structuring how he's attacking somebody is going to be different from how Trump is going to do it. So yeah, completely right?
Yeah, that's somebody that's somebody in the camp turning on you, and they know all your secrets. I don't know, this is kind of to draw an analogy. Maybe Trump is Drake, and based on what you niggas been saying, especially Chavez, you need to know when to hang it up, because you dealing with a real street nigga. Michael Cohen to Trump, he's a real street nigga. He actually has a law degree. He's not his daddy didn't get him where he at. He had to do a lot of underhanded shit, because Michael Cohen is a piece of shit too. Let's be honest here.
That was clear. Yeah. They kept showing footage from 2015, 2016 when he was on Fox News talking reckless and being a fucking bully. So it's like, you ain't shit either.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I will say this though, Antoine, as much as I am anti-Drake at the moment, I still wouldn't take him there. I still wouldn't.
You said the man don't deserve that.
I don't fuck with him right now, but woo. So Tony said Cohen got hung out to dry. He has a huge fucking axe to grind. Don't fuck over those who help bury the bodies, right? But Trump is he's like, no, you're not down no more. Fuck you. And Cohen is like, all right, bet. I went to jail for your punk ass. It's time.
There was a way to handle that, but I saw it. I saw that news clip where the reporter asked Trump about it when he threw Cohen under the bus. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those, you could have just turned around and walked your ass away. You could have turned around, walked your ass away. You could have said no comment and then went and consulted with your counsel. And y'all could have corroborated. I mean, y'all clearly good at that, coming up with these stories. Mm-mm. You could have went and talked to him and figured out how best to move forward. But what's our guy? Fredo. I'm thinking of when Chris Cuomo, I'll fucking push you down the fucking stairs. You know I'll fucking push you down the goddamn stairs.
Yeah.
Fredo.
Yeah.
They treat them like the family need to get together and discuss how to move forward. But your ego wouldn't allow you to take any of that heat, and you threw him under the bus, and he was like, I'm not going down for all this shit.
Well, also when everybody moved into the White House, they didn't have a position for Mike Cohen. Mike was like, "Oh, I'm moving into the White House too. I'm gonna get me a White House gig. Be posted up in the Oval Office, whatever the fuck." And they were like, "Nah, B, you not." So shit was already looking bad, and he's like, "Now you need to run me my money."
Yo,
yeah,
right. Listen, so it got ugly.
Listen, Mike straight up hit Trump with the Nino Brown at the end of New Jack City.
I mean, he did. And I also think both of them, with him being a lawyer, he's going to be a lot more gangster with it. Crescent, if Cohen goes on the stand and he mentions something that has not been introduced into evidence, is that allowed? Meaning, if he has some form, if he gets up there and they say, you've been lying on my boy and blah, 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 and he'll be like, I'm not lying about anything. You know you made this up. You don't have proof of it. Actually, I do have proof. I mean, if he says, I got something sitting at home, if y'all let me bring...
No, the prosecution has every single possible thing from Mike Cohen. Like, they have audio, everything. So what could happen? I mean, like, if he said something that wasn't already noted, I mean, the defense should object and, sort of cover it that way, because certain things are supposed to be handed over to the other side so there aren't, quote unquote, surprises like this. And again, look, watching TV law, when somebody tries to slide some shit in, they're like, oh, we just got handed this information this morning, judge. Like, we didn't, we didn't even have a chance to look at it.
That's not real life.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not going down.
Well, just real quick, though, let me ask you this. But under normal circumstances, if the defense were to ask him a question, and in answering the question, that introduces evidence that was not already there. So that's how I see them trip people up. Because that's a lot of times what they say, they shouldn't put, the defendant on the stand because they're emotional and they'll say some shit that will allow some evidence to be introduced that's incriminating. That's what I'm just hoping happens. I want a Law and Order episode to happen.
But again, this would be bad on the defense part to ask a question that they don't know the answer to, right? Because and Cohen. I mean, look, Stormy was giving defense the fucking business. So Cohen definitely gonna be ready for these motherfuckers.
That's what I mean, though. They stupid as fuck. I can see them making that mistake. And Cohen will eat it up like Pac-Man if they do. He waiting.
Right. So but like I said,
so I get what Antoine is saying because most stuff and most things have to be. I mean, if this is correct, Crescent, most things do have to be provided in discovery. But if they ask Cohen something, then if he comes out and says something, then it does fall on the defense. And I didn't even really think about that.
Yeah, no, if the defense does it, then that's on them. They open the door for that. So But, I think right now, I don't know if there's anything that we haven't heard yet, but he did say there's going to be some surprises.
Because again, on Law and Order, what happens is we object. And the judge be like, I mean, it speaks to the question you just asked the witness. You open the door. Witness is allowed to answer. Continue.
Yeah.
Tell us how big his dick is.
Oh, Lord Jesus. And as Beverly noted, when your boy secretly records you, it ain't going to end well. Right. Facts. And Cohen said this is why I love Mike Cohen, but also don't. He was like, I always recorded our conversation, so I was clear about what was asked of me. He was like, I've been covering my ass since day one fucking with this dude, so it is what it is. Yeah, Beverly said, I don't think that they are stupid. I think they are. But frankly, if the client is lying, what you gonna do? So oh, sorry, just going back really fast. So Beverly also said it was a black weave thread. Why do you have a black weave thread in your like white blondish hair? Like, what is that about? How does that work? Why? Sorry, I got so distracted. Okay, moving on. So the unfortunate part about all these goddamn trials is this is the only one that's moving forward and the only one that we will have some type of conclusion for actually relatively soon, because the other 3 fucking trials, remember the classified documents case in Florida? Well, that shit's been postponed and fucking definitely because that's the corrupt bitch down there. Eileen Cannon is just rotten.
That's terrible.
To the core, and I don't care. I said it, rotten to the core, corrupt all around and incompetent as hell. So that's not going anywhere. The Supreme Court, sadly, also sadly corrupt, except for the 3 warriors on there. I know y'all still trying to fight the good fight. Kagan, Sotomayor, and Jackson. Sorry. I know it's hell, but the Supreme Court, is slowing the DC case with the sedition. And then obviously Georgia is a mess. And I'm still not blaming Fani. I'm not. Fuck y'all. Not blaming Fani. But they're still trying to get her kicked off, which is slowing up the process. So, we got to vote. We got to vote. Kick him out. Bannon's going to jail. Steve Bannon's conviction for defying the January 6th committee. There was a couple things I didn't add. Yeah. So he got convicted for defying the January 6th committee. It's been upheld. Unanimous 3 judges.
Oh, and he was fucking egregious. Like, I ain't doing that shit, whatever. I was like, you allowed to do that?
No, you're not.
Oh, this brings me so much joy.
Anytime, I'm gonna tell you like this. We all knew what we were up against when the former president had as his aides and as his staffers Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller, and Roger Stone.
Terrible.
And anyone, and here's the thing: anyone, I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say. But anyone that could vote for someone as president who have these 3 people as a part of their team, I have to say either you're one of 2 things: you're highly naive, or you're a horrible human being, and that's really what it boils down to. And I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm an independent. I see the flaws in both sides. I don't say one is great, one is not. But at the end of the day, like, there is no way in the world that anyone with any sense, no disrespect to my friend, I got some friends who voted for him, but there's no way that anyone with any sense would see this man as someone that should be running the country. So
to that point, most people are just, there's a cult. They're just in a cult. But those who actually have some intelligence, like Bill Barr, nah, dude, you just corrupt and because he has even said he should not be president again, but since he's a Republican nominee, I'm gonna vote for him. Like, dude, like, how are you living with yourself? But you can't. You're soulless. You are one of Satan's minions. Go ahead, Antoine.
I think some of them scared. I really do. I think there's a fear because the fan base is so rabid. Because even I was listening to NPR today, and they were explaining. They had these pundits on, and one of them was explaining. He was saying how dangerous rural America is because 70% of rural America supports Trump. And they were saying how dangerous they are because they're more likely to not support Black Lives Matter. They're more likely to have firearms. They're more likely to believe in QAnon. They're more likely to fall for conspiracy theories. They're more likely to not get vaccinated. And the crazy part about it is they were explaining how sad it is because that demographic has benefited from the Biden administration. A lot of these country bumpkins didn't even have fucking internet until Buttigieg used the infrastructure. He's in charge of infrastructure. Buttigieg got these motherfuckers internet and shit. His administration is never celebrated for that. And also, don't forget, remember Trump was on TV saying, I'll be the voice for you with the fucking hat on, telling the coal miners, I'm going to save your jobs. Your industry is important. You're important. It was 50,000 coal miner jobs when that motherfucker was in office. And right now, it's damn near, it ain't even 35. He didn't do anything for them. He didn't do anything for them.
That has traditionally been the case. And yes, we can talk about Democrat Party. I'll never say that they are like the fucking Shangri-La. I'm never going to say that. But they do less harm than these other motherfuckers. And
Definitely
traditionally, when Dems are in office, social services are fucking are either established or better supported. And the people who are on the fringe are the ones who benefit. But that don't matter because if black people gonna benefit too, then we don't want it. Okay, so this is where racism factors in again. And with regard to I don't know. See, Biden just did something in Wisconsin that Trump was supposed to do, and he didn't get it done. And Biden just made it happen. And Fox News was like, oh yeah, that thing that Trump said he was gonna do. Fox News even said,
wow,
oh yeah, that thing that Trump said he was gonna do, and now Biden did it.
They mad. They mad at him.
Racine, Wisconsin. Yeah, hey Jason, I'm gonna tell Jason Sugars, like, yo, here's the deal. Like, I got friends who are like, look, I get it. Here's the thing, and this is why I look at the parties like I look at the parties. From as far back as I can remember, which goes back to Jimmy Carter. Shut up, don't nobody talk about how old I am. But anyway, as far back as I can remember, Jimmy Carter, right, all the way up until now, in black neighborhoods across this country look for the most part exactly the same under each party. So for me, until there's some significant change, and that change has to come within, it is our job to do the change on our end. But when it comes down to the federal government, Chicago, the South Side and West Side of Chicago has looked the same under each administration. And that there is just my biggest issue. Like,
and it also,
I was talking to somebody else about this the other day, and when Reagan came in, and he was in there for 8 years and had enough time to change up a bunch of shit in terms of how in terms of how monies are distributed. Like, he's the one who took out these mental health centers that were like around, right? So, and we've never recovered from that. And so, we can get at Clinton, right? Like, possibly a couple, saying like, you could have done more. You had 8 years in office. Obama had 8. He did what he could. He got us motherfuckers healthcare. Okay. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to like get the system back on track when you've had X number of decades and you got the lobbyists you got. And so it's been a mess. Right. And I agree since Reagan in particular.
I'll say this too. And I'll say this too, just when it comes down to the Republican Party, it just seems like if you're not wealthy, if you're of any what they look at as minority in America, which includes women, you should not be supporting that party, because if you just take a look at what they do and what they don't do, that's really all people have to do is just start taking a look at what's being done and what's not being done. And you can kind of see who you might want to lean towards a little bit more.
You know what the problem is with that though, because the same show I was listening to on NPR, and Tony mentioned it. Obamacare moved the number of people in rural America in terms of healthcare. It moved by 8 percentage points. That means 1 in 12 people who didn't have healthcare, they got it under Obamacare. And that may not sound like a lot, but when it comes to healthcare, that's a big difference. It hadn't happened before. But what you were saying, Chavez, like when you're saying people need to be aware and look at what's happening and what's affecting them, part of what a big problem is today, people are getting their news from a national platform instead of looking locally. When you look locally, you get a feel for what is actually fucking affecting you. When somebody tells you that Mexicans are trying to rape your daughters and steal your jobs, and you're hearing that on a national platform, and you don't live near no Mexicans, you need to sit there and think to yourself, does this really affect me? But yeah, it's sad. People just aren't paying attention.
Again, the fact that you said think, Antoine, first of all.
I know.
But here's the worst part, though, even about local. The bigger chains have been buying local stations, and they are Sinclair.
Yeah.
Sinclair is one of those, is one of the companies, and they have a Republican, they have a conservative agenda. And so you start to have local news that is sounding very much parroting a national conservative platform. Yeah. And so that's another way that they're sliding in. So again, going back to,
terrible.
Thinking would be great, but so just to clarify what Biden has done in Wisconsin. So it's a Microsoft plant they're going to build a $3.3 billion data center in southeastern Wisconsin, which is sharp contrast to Trump saying he was going to back a $10 billion project at the same site that just didn't go anywhere, it sounds like. So
a lot of promises. It's like you promise people a bunch of shit to get their vote, and then
Here's the crazy thing about Trump. I'm not even mad at Trump. So look, I read The Art of the Deal back in the mid 90s, right? And then in the late 90s, because you got to remember, come on, Trump, everybody looked at Trump, even rappers were talking about Trump like he was the man, right? So it wasn't until like the late 90s when I started doing a little bit of research and I started finding out that most of the business deals that he was touting in Art of the Deal failed. I think it was like 75 to 80% of the business deals that he touted as being these great deals in Art of the Deal failed. So then what you start finding out is he sets up these deals, he gets his money, the deal, it's going to end up failing. So then all of that falls apart, but he made his money. and here's the thing, he's been doing that consistently since the 90s. So anybody that's mad at Trump right now, it's not Trump to be mad at. It is literally this country has allowed people like him to operate for so long in the way that they're operating. And then they've allowed him to operate. Because when you listen to a lot of the Republicans that were talking crazy, including Lindsey Graham and everybody else that had something crazy when he first ran for president, and everybody talked, Lindsey Graham said he is a race-baiting, xenophobic, like Lindsey Graham went in on him. And then all of a sudden, everybody falls behind him. Like, real talk, I'm not even mad. It's like people knew who he was, and they allowed him to get in.
Oh, absolutely. The RNC shut this shit down a long time ago. 1,000%. But Chavez, you know what you know because you read. Okay? You ask questions. You pay attention to what the fuck is happening around you. That's not normal, sadly. That's why we in the state we in right now. So finishing up, Bannon is doing he got a 4-month jail sentence. So I don't know how soon that's going to start.
That's it.
I know. I'm down to throw a party. And then and I didn't have this on there because I wanted to throw it. I saw it as we were coming in, about to go live about abortion. So right now, Louisiana Senate is considering legislation that would classify mifepristone and misoprostol with the other one, the two abortion drugs, as controlled dangerous substances, with penalties of up to 10 years in prison and $15,000 in fine. So there's 200 doctors who've signed a letter urging this to not go forward. And like right now, the doctors have not been trying to wade too far into this because it can get messy for them. The fact that they're like, no, please do not do this. Okay. No, not Lady G.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
Okay. Also, in Louisiana's handmaid law, their abortion law, if you guys will remember, only has an exception for the life of the mother, or if the fetus has a fatal abnormality. They do not have an exception for child rape / incest. Okay, so there's a Democratic.
You not have? I don't understand. They would get more leeway if they added that. Everybody wants that, even if you just add an exception. You know what? They're speaking to some country bumpkin shit. It's speaking to country bumpkin shit.
That's why I just grunted. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know he did. So wait, I'm gonna make it worse for you. So this Democratic rep, Boyd, she is the result of her mother being a victim of statutory rape. So her mother was 15 when she was conceived by a man nearly twice her mother's age. Okay, and her mother ended up dying before she was 30. And so she told a story about a 13-year-old who was raped and gave birth. She also told a story about a 9-year-old who became pregnant after a sexual assault. And then there was another advocate who testified about 2 8-year-olds who were sexually assaulted who gave birth when they were like 9. So that's
God.
Okay, that's what they want. Then Katie Britt, y'all remember that heifer that did this response to the State of the Union, that crazy chick from Alabama?
Oh yeah, the one in the kitchen.
Yeah. So she has introduced a bill to create a federal database of pregnant women that will be tracked by the federal government. Okay, it's called the More Opportunities for Moms to Succeed Act. Okay, would mandate the creation of a federal website called pregnancy.gov, which she calls a clearinghouse of relevant resources available for pregnant and postpartum women and women parenting young children. Okay. Just to note what's happening in Alabama, multiple hospitals have closed their labor and delivery units in response to the total abortion ban in the state. And also a woman who is the head of the West Alabama Women's Center said, Alabama has lost 3 labor and delivery wards in the last 12 months and dumping federal grant money into pregnancy resource centers so there is more funding for diapers and formula ain't gonna fix that medical gap. So I don't even know. Y'all making women and girls, babies, stay pregnant, and where are they delivering?
That's wild.
In the motherfucking backyard, in the motherfucking tub. Fucking ridiculous. So yeah, keep fucking around out here about who you talking about voting for. Listen to what the fuck is popping off in these goddamn handmaid states. Y'all are out here wilding.
I need the Democrats to run some national ads showing some of these victims of this shit. Like, I know it's gonna be hard for people to watch, but it's reality.
I'm upset. I'm just upset with the Democrats because throughout these years, the Dems have not been able to find someone who could actually be a decent candidate. And when I say decent, I'm not saying that they haven't had any people who are good candidates. I'm saying someone who could, the voting electorate of this country. Because at the end of the day, there's no, and then I'm mad, of course, mad at the Republicans that they would even sell out the country the way they're selling. Never thought the people that claim to be conservative would sell out to someone who is completely against democracy. He's down for the destruction of democracy. And now all of them are coming out and letting us know that they're also down with the destruction of democracy as well.
Yeah. Because the browning of America and of 8 years of in the White House, and they're like, we holding on to power, come hell or high water. Give a fuck. Fuck democracy. We, as long as white men get to stay in charge, I don't care what we call it. As long as we in charge.
Yeah, that's what's destroying them. I mean, that's
deep. Go ahead, Antoine. Sorry.
That's why I think in the past, you weren't allowed to be blatantly racist as a Republican, so that's why there was some compromise. People would reach across the aisle, but now it's like, nigga, I ain't touching you. You hate niggas and you want 9-year-olds to walk around barefoot and pregnant. I ain't reaching over to touch you. Fuck everything that you stand for.
100%. Also, this is the party of small government. Okay. Yeah. But y'all want to track women's pregnancies?
Right. Okay. Yeah. They want to be all up in the uterus.
Stop. So, speaking of trifling ass Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So she was, trying to get Mike Johnson up out of there. And so she brought her motion to the floor. She got heckled. She got booed. And she got hissed at. And this is from her own party. They were her own classmates.
I'm going to keep it real with you. When I first saw Marjorie Taylor Greene back in the day, I thought she was Mickey Rourke from The Wrestler.
Oh.
And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I literally thought that was Mickey Rourke. Like when they had a picture of her on the screen, I thought it was Mickey Rourke. Real talk.
Okay. Beverly said.
Continue.
Oh God. Yeah. Can I get Aunt Crescent Joe silence? Like, come on. You leave me out there with him?
Sometimes your comments be problematic too, nigga. I need one for me.
I stand on them. I stand 10 toes down on them. That's okay. You know what, Chavez? She didn't look like Mickey Rourke. Fuck her too. So,
wait, you know what it reminds me of? Oh, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Second reference tonight.
Yeah, when what's her name? Mary Cosby. When she was sitting down with Heather, and Heather said, "You said I look inbred," and Mary was like, "She was like, Do you really think I look inbred? And Mary said, I do. To her face. To her face. Look, Mary she said it just so matter-of-factly. She did the head tilt. I do.
Go ahead, Chavez.
So to respond to Beverly in regards to it's not blaming the Dems.
Let me read her comment
per se. But what I'm saying,
hold on, Chavez. Let me read her comment because that's what I was trying to read. So Beverly says, stop blaming Dems because 70 million conservative evangelicals don't want to support non-white, non-male candidates who believe in insane policies and tax breaks. And then go ahead, Chavez. I was going to read Tony's, but go ahead.
So here's why I blame the Dems, right? The Dems are elitist in the way where they don't want to get down and dirty. Republicans are nasty, grimy, and filthy. So what I'm going to say is there have been so many times, okay, I've mentioned this to you guys before, when it came down to the Confederacy, right? That is all ethnic sympathy. We are the only country that had a civil war, and the losing side was allowed to continue with their ideology, flying their flags and talking this stuff. Even Germany outlawed, and it is illegal for you to even have a swastika publicly displayed, right? So I'm going to say right then and there, the liberals allowed this to happen. Moving forward, you got Richard Nixon. The Dems, wait a minute, the Dems did not step up in that situation as well. And now we're talking about right now, we're in this place where we have the former president that we had in place. Dems play too nice. The Dems play too nice. And that's why they win in some ways, but then they lose in other ways. And you have to play on the same field that you're being played against. You have to play on that field. And what I'm getting at is like Michelle Obama saying, when they go low, we go high. And that's how you end up where you end up right now.
So, but I'll push back a little bit.
Not to mention, wait a minute. And the other thing, the other thing too is the 81-year-old man shouldn't be our hope. An 81-year-old man shouldn't be our hope. They should have identified and built up someone else. Yes. So they should have identified someone else and built someone else up. So I'm not putting the blame purely on them, but I'm saying things could have been better.
I don't fully disagree with you about that, but they did, and this is where we are. That's what I'm saying. Like, and just going back a little bit further with Reconstruction, but this is what happens when we have a system where there's either every 4 years or every 8 years is a turnover, or somebody get fucking assassinated like Abraham Lincoln, and now the other motherfucker got a different agenda, right? Reconstruction was great, and then
it was
that shit got taken down by the next guy, and they're like, no, fuck that shit, right? And then, so to your point, motherfuckers in the South was allowed to be like, oh, this was the lost cause, and we get to put up all these statues and shit. But again, given the way our country is structured as far as like electing officials and democracy, you know, like you keep a certain type of person in office, yeah, that shit gets shut down, right? Look, Roosevelt ended up being 4 terms, and that's how we got a New Deal. And then they shut that shit down. We're like, yeah, we ain't let nobody do that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Now, I definitely will give you bringing us forward with Nixon. That motherfucker should have had to go to trial. I fully agree, but the person Ford was like, I'm gonna pardon him, and they were like, you know what? Okay, fine. I know, Bev, I saw you. I don't know. I think with Trump coming in, that just made everything worse in a whole bunch of different directions, because Biden didn't want to run last go round. He did not. But like Kamala wasn't gonna beat him, right? I would have loved Pete to move forward, but was they really about to vote for the gay guy over Trump's punk ass? I don't know. I don't know. I can't call it. Look, Michelle said she ain't running. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? So like,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask both of y'all a question. If the Dems get the presidency and they get Congress, Senate, and the House, do you think they will up the number of Supreme Court justices? Do you think they would consider that because they have the power to do that?
I think they're going to be forced to consider it.
If the Dems have the presidency, so for me, for me, let me tell you, for me, because of the way things are set up, I wouldn't even be forced to consider it. As soon as things lined up like that, I would go directly to the Republicans and say, guess what's about to happen, y'all? We about to up this number. I would, because the Republicans are unapologetic to their fight. And the Dems are not unapologetic to their fight.
Look, I 1000%. The last gangster fucking Democrat I think we had was Clinton, right? Like, and I mean, that's what I believe in terms of like who he moved and acted like they did. Okay, so in this instance, honestly I can't call it. I would hope so because people gonna be on Biden's neck about it. And here's the thing: he might die in office. I don't motherfucking know. So fuck it. Go out with it like a fuck it. I'm taking the Supreme Court up to the top. I want that. And we should be, look, again, in terms of like what we demand from the people we put in office, motherfuckers need to be camped out outside the White House. Like what you doing with the Supreme Court, player? Do you know what I'm saying? Like we get to do that. We get to say we kept you in office, right? We kept democracy together. So now you need to do what the fuck needs to happen so that the Supreme Court don't continue to fuck us up for a whole nother generation. Like we get to call him out on that. So, we'll see.
Yeah. The other thing too is just piggybacking on what Chavez said. I think part of what makes it difficult to beat somebody at their same game is when one side of the game is so steadfastly based in racism and lies. So when we say they need to be more gangster, that's the one part they can't compete with because they lie, and then we tell people what the truth is, and they choose to believe the lie. And a lot of Americans believe a lie when it's in their best interest to believe the lie. Instead of looking at it objectively and saying, well, that's a lie. The lie probably would help me out, but it's a lie. So I guess that's what makes it difficult for them to fight fire with fire because, I mean, do we start lying? I mean, is that what we do? I don't know. I don't know.
So wait. So Kristen said, not us blaming
that. It's just when.
I know. Kristen said, not you blaming Dems for not being psychos, which is. Like, yeah, wait, y'all still on? Yeah, Colin, I'm trying to wrap us up, but you know.
Callum went and washed a load of clothes and came back and he said, "You niggas still talking."
Look, we trying to work with Chavez's audio being fucked up, so we gotta pause and let let shit get up. It is what it is. Thank you.
I'm getting all these wild ass comments up because y'all wild in these comments tonight. I'm loving it.
Right. Hey, Militia. I love Colin. Hey, how you doing? Hey, boo, hey. And so Colin said, look, Biden is not the only one on the ballot, right? It's a lot of down the line. Senate seats, House seats, ballot initiatives, local government, motherfucking sheriff, school board. Get your ass out there and vote. Do what you want to do. Take your government back. Look, yes, we are. Marjorie. Okay. So even the orange defendant admonished her, right? He was like, look, kicking out the speaker gonna make us look crazier than we already do. He's right. Broke clock right twice a day. So it was 196 Republicans and 163 Democrats who voted to block her motion.
They call that's what I call a strong opposition.
Oh God, that part. So look, one of her own, Rep. Dusty Johnson from South Dakota said the chairman, he's chairman of the governing focus Republican Main Street Caucus. He was asked whether Greene should be punished. He said, one dumpster fire at a time. They are so tired of her.
I love it when they turn on each other. I love it.
Yes, Tony, a lot of willful ignorance. Also, so Carlos Jimenez from Florida said he told reporters outside the Capitol after he voted to block the bid, enough is enough, has said enough is enough. We don't need to hear from her anymore. We don't need to hear you say nigga no more. He said she is just there for attention. She just wants to raise money off of this. And again, she does not represent the Republican Party. They are so done with her.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I need her to be gone. I need at least at least I need the Republicans to acknowledge all this QAnon shit and eject them from the party. At least, just on a basic level. But again, this other statistic I saw yesterday.
Sorry.
Shit, I think it might have been on CNN. It was talking about how gun ownership shot up since the last election. Mm-hmm. And they were explaining that the people who are buying the guns, the numbers they showed would terrify y'all. The people who are buying the guns, when they had this questionnaire like, do you believe in QAnon and all this other shit? Like the number of people, do you believe that civil obedience is okay when your candidate is mistreated? These types of things. It was like, yes. Like them numbers was over 50%.
Yeah, I'm aware. That's why we got to keep that fucking crazy man out of office. Oh, so yeah, Beverly said, my tax bracket says I should vote for GOP to protect my pocket, but I'm not leaving my people behind. Non-safe neighborhoods, reproductive care.
Always been my stance. That's always been my stance.
Absolutely. And Callum said, look, what's good with your money if you live in an authoritarian fascist state? Exactly. Like, you can build a gate for your house, but everybody else just out there in the streets.
I've always... So for me, I'm socially, I'm very democratic. But then when it comes down to fiscally, I do understand I understand the power of the Republican platform when it comes to just fiscally. The problem is they don't believe in regulation. So the reason we can't really follow the Republican platform is because the corruption that could run wild and free is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, Crescent, small government, if it's working for the vast majority of people, the problem is the way they're set up, it works for the 1%. So if you're talking about the 1% winning out of the 99%, that's why America is like going to hell in the handbasket right now.
Well, look, under Trump, they loosened up some of that railroad restriction shit. And how many motherfucking accidents did we have shortly thereafter? So no, they are terrible for the country, period.
Yeah, if you don't have them, if they don't, because that's the problem, is that it's like, it's fun when you just letting the market dictate everything, then niggas never get hired. Workers are forced to work 60 hours a week and not be compensated. That's why you have to have regulation, because when capitalism takes over, the will of the people, the health of the people, all of that is thrown out with the bathwater for the bottom dollar. So that is problematic.
That's why when capitalism fully takes over, because it's controlling a lot. But you know what I'm saying? When it's like the whole thing. So yeah. All right, move on. Because as Callum noted, we still on. All right. So Biden and Bibi.
My booty call waiting on me.
Okay. We've all been aggravated about, what's happening with Israel and Gaza and America supplying weapons to Israel. So right now, Biden has been on Netanyahu to reconsider his plans to invade Rafah. Okay, that has been since February. They've had multiple rounds of calls, hours and hours of virtual and in-person meetings between top lieutenants on both sides. They're like, there's another way to go after Hamas. You do not need to, nor should you invade Rafah, right? So last week, because Biden is tired of fucking around with him, because he like, dude, you a problem, because Netanyahu is Trump. Last week, Biden signed off on a pause of 3,500 bombs to Israel that they fear would be dropped on Rafah. So the Israeli government has understood for some time now that was a possible consequence if they kept trying to move forward. So of course they're like, what are you talking about? Oh my God. So Netanyahu's like, if we need to stand alone, we will stand alone.
Nigga, you know what? Now look, that's what Drake doing. Nigga, they go turn on you. You go get turned on. I'll just do it by myself. Nigga, you already an island right now. You need to be careful what come out your goddamn mouth.
All right. So he continued. He said, I have said that if necessary, we will fight with our fingernails. Somebody for the idea.
Y'all be some fighting with your fingernail type mofos.
Yeah. Part of the problem too is when I was telling y'all about them Abraham Accords, he still has a fairly decent relationship with all the surrounding Arab countries. So, if we do stop supporting them, it's still gonna be some fucked up shit happening for a while, unfortunately, because they don't want them in Egypt. Yeah, it's.
So, okay, wait.
I mean, at the end of the day, what we can't do, like, if I got a friend of mine who I support, right? I can't, if I know what you're doing is wrong, there is no way I'm about to continue to support you in what you're doing, and I know it's wrong. There's no way.
Right.
There's no way I'm going to keep, if I know for a fact what you're doing, if I don't agree with it, I'm taking away, what the countries, I'm not even mentioning none of that. But if I do not agree with what you're doing, and I have been supporting you, I am not going to continue to support you. I'm just not.
Yeah.
So there's been, again, because I have tried to take a measured approach to this as possible. First of all, spokesman for IDF said they already have the weapons that they need, which I mean, I do believe that. But and Biden has still made it clear that no matter what course Israel-Hamas war takes, the U.S. still remains an ally of Israel as long as he is president. He said that conviction is separate and apart from the evolution of the president's relationship with Netanyahu. He's like, I don't like that dude, but we still continue to be an ally of Israel. Also, they noted Israel is not the same thing as Netanyahu, which is true, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Trump being the fucking president of the United States does not mean that the rest of the country was like fucking with him like that. Like, a lot of us want punk ass motherfucker gone, and that's why he did not win again. Barely, but he did not win again. And so, there's a growing consensus that Netanyahu needs to step down, right? And there's also a larger population. I saw a poll, but I didn't get a chance to fully digest it. But they want a deal for the hostages. There's a deal that could have happened a long fucking time ago if Netanyahu went on some bullshit. So it's like you're dealing with a leader who is fucking insane, but you're like, we still fucking with the country, but your ass is the problem. And so we got to figure out how best to kind of figure this out. So again, not a good look. It's a problem, but at least Biden is like, look, dude, you ain't gonna get these bombs, at least not right now. Yeah. Of course, there's been mixed responses from the senators. Fetterman is a huge supporter of Israel, so he's pissed off. Bernie Sanders is like, this should have happened a long time ago. You can't fucking win, so can't please everybody. Yeah. So here we are. So that's just wanted to give y'all an update on that. Last thing, we have talked about this on the show before. Seat reclining on an airplane. I only mention this because I happen to see this opinion piece on CNN, and it's from a flight attendant. And she's basically like, y'all need to fucking stop complaining and crying. Seats recline. Look, spend money to get more room. Spend money, five first class. Like, sorry to y'all.
I mean,
hey, you know what? Spirit, them seats don't recline on Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, you make it work because I'm like, I'm basically 6'1" and I make it work. Like, the shit people, it's not always the most comfortable situation, but when I fly, I do try and make sure I have an aisle seat, because the aisle seat, I can finagle more room at the aisle seat, and I might have to move my leg about 6 times per hour, but when there's no activity in that fucking aisle, my leg is in the goddamn aisle using up that space. And it gives me more room in the middle.
Quick question. Do you guys notify the person behind you that you're about to let the seat back, or do you just let that seat back like in the most violent, aggressive way that you can do?
So she talks about that. She did say courtesy would be to give notice to the person behind you, right? And to try not to do it when, during meal service or something. I actually honestly don't really recline. If I do, it's just
I usually don't. I usually forget to do it. And I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, I feel like if I recline it has a different effect than if somebody else does because of my height. So I just sit there and take it. I just take it. Sit there and take it.
I'll say so I don't. I tend to not to. If I do, it's just marginally. But I too am also on the aisle seat usually, so I feel like I'm not fully cramped in. But she mentioned a couple different accounts. Somebody put their seat back, and the person behind her was like, "If you put your seat back one more time, I'll punch you in the face." I wish a motherfucker would say that to me.
I wish somebody would.
We both getting kicked off this motherfucker. But that's the airline, the flight attendant's point though was, if you're the one threatening violence on somebody just because they recline their seat, you will be the person who gets kicked off the flight. Antoine, I'm sorry, Chavez, you're about to say something else?
Yeah, so typically I recline before we take off, and a lot of times the flight attendants will look at me like really, let your seat up, you know.
I'm like, that's when people recline before we take off. They always catch them, at least the ones around me.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, put this up.
They gangster about that on whenever I'm flying.
Yeah, seriously. Another thing, and that's what Beverly flies a lot. She says a frequent flyer, the middle seat should not recline, period.
Yes.
And the flight attendant mentioned though, like, look, y'all know what these seats are doing. So if you actually trying to like pull out your laptop and fucking have a drink or two, you doing too much. Okay. Like, understand how these airlines are set up nowadays, how these planes are set up, and adjust accordingly. Sorry.
Yeah. I know that's right, Bev. Stand on business.
I'm not going.
Bev in first class. Bev in first class. Yo, I'd be down there with the luggage, so I could just lay out. You know what I'm saying?
So I have status on American, so I'm not able to always get upgrades to first class. But trust me when I do, thank you to Jesus. But at least I'm in like the kind of first couple rows that have a little bit more space. So, and I'm fighting like hell to keep my status. I don't fuck what I gotta do because I don't want to go back. Callum said you can't expect to sit upright for 6+ hours flight. It's humanly impossible. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like. I mean, it's like either try and get into like the seats that have a little bit more space, or I don't know.
I usually fall asleep within the first half an hour. I'm on a flight, so I guess I'm probably not that uncomfortable because I'm dead to the world. But I also snore, and I never thought about this. I don't think I snore when I'm sitting upright though. So I think that's why I don't get popped by the flight
that's
attendant.
Why people have noise canceling, whatever the fuck. Like again, prep yourself for your flight. You look. She said there's gonna be a baby. Your seat gonna be too cramped. Something. I'm sorry. You know, maybe get on a bus. Maybe rent a car.
Yeah. Real quick. I thought y'all said that y'all were trying to keep these shows to 2 hours or less, man. Y'all just bumping y'all gums too much for me.
Okay, first of all, your audio being off has contributed a little bit to tonight going a little bit longer.
And it's not, and please, we're not blaming you. That is not your fault. This shit just started happening.
Also, Antoine, we had a 47-minute show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Antoine said, well, maybe we'll go a little bit longer on Friday. And I kind of made a face, but here we are.
Right.
So
we'll be back to an hour on the next show. And we got some stuff to talk to y'all about come Monday.
Yo, real talk though, those 3 hour shows are like the absolute best. The 3 hour shows were completely amazing.
I can't go back. I can't go back.
No. Oh God. No. Oh God. No. Oh God.
That's when everybody was legit in the house and nobody could go anywhere. So fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we back on Monday.
Yeah.
Like the video. Thanks for watching. Tell a friends. I don't know. We lost Dirty Bands, but welcome.
Yeah. Welcome.
And Bev, it's good to see you in the chat, Bev. CJ, Karen. Glad you came in on the last ending, Colin. Good to see you.
Colin was here at the beginning, but then he had to tap out, I think. He was one of the first people I thought that had commented.
He did need to go do some laundry. Jason.
Yeah, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm looking up.
Thank you guys, Dion, Melissa, Karen. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got to go. I got stuff to do. See y'all Monday.